an eye on the number 4.
He's just going to tuck the front. I'm sure it's greasy out there. Oh, did he tuck the front or did he lose the rear and it just spun around on him? We couldn't quite see that, but Hector Garzo, wow, what a return to the Moto 2 European Championship for him. With 2 laps in, he's already in the gravel.
Yeah, easily done through there, just push a little bit too hard. The limit is the limit for a reason, and Senna Asia is doing a good job right now finding that limit. He's closing down Lucas Tulovic on this lap.
Yeah, at the moment it's a couple of hundreds, but let's see what it is going to be in the next couple of laps. He can't afford to leave it too long, of course, it's reduced race distance, but Tulovic out front so far from Aegis. Aegis fastest sector 3. What was his lap time? Fastest lap of the race, 2. Tulovic, and does pull it back a little bit in sector 4. So good stuff from Tulovic, 39.6.
Oke, selamat pagi, selamat malam.
Tulovic pushing hard here in the early stage of this race, trying to make sure he's able to open that gap. He doesn't want to give up this position. He wants his first race victory. But Senna Agia's really impressive stuff from the Australian to be this quick, this soon on a Moto 2 machine. Really, he's hit the ground running.
He had that first front row, the first for Australia since Barcelona 2016. It was Remy Gardner then, and we all know that's the 31 of Roberto Garcia. Now, we saw him in that replay of the crash with Garzo cruising just off the race 9 going into turn 4. So I wonder what's happened there for the Spaniard, the rookie Spaniard in this class. But as we were saying, yeah, Remy Gardner's career went one way after a strong season in the Moto 2 European Championship 6 years ago that Australia's had to wait to find the next talent coming through. And it looks like it's a good one.
Yeah, it's Senna doing a really good job in the 81. That's Birshikerski on the 74 machine, the Polish rider, out in front of, I think it looked like it was Javi Cardalus now, up into 4th position. Cardalus trying to move himself onto the podium. He's had podium finishes in the past, still trying to claim that first race victory though on the number 18 machine. And for Javi, he's always been strong in this class. He's always been a front runner in the European Championship, but unable to claim that first race victory. But he's got so much experience, Kiko. 66 starts in the European Championship, and for him, he's also got a couple of years under his belt in World Championship action, including he's already been out in the World Championship this season as well.
He has. He's plenty of experience. He's just got to use it to get to the podium. Tulovic, at the moment, looking like he's going to take the first win of his career in this class in the braking area, but Senna Aegis was again quicker in sector 3. Fastest lap for Tulovic, so 39.4. He's laying down the benchmark.
Yeah, he's thrown down the gauntlet to the rest of the field, and he's doing a really good job. Last time around, he pulled out another quarter of a second on Senna Aegis. Aegis, though, he's been able to open up a gap of 2.5 seconds to Birshikerski. So for both of these riders, it's now going to be just a case of trying to set yourself in, hold your momentum, and try and make sure you're able to be mistake-free all the way through, because a race victory for Tulovic is a great start to the season. A podium for Senna Aegis would be a fantastic start to the campaign for him as he jumps onto Moto 2 machinery for that first time. Behind, though, you can see Birshikerski now coming under pressure. That's where the battle is right now, and it's for 3rd position with Javi Cardalus closing down the Polish rider. And last time around we saw that Cardalus was half a second faster than Peter, so he's certainly going to be the rider on the move right now.
Just look at the 8th place, great stuff from Sam Wilford up into 8th from 29th in the grid. We said watch out for him, he's doing very, very good so far for the ADR team. Triumph Moto 2 machine. But this is the battle at the moment. Birshikerski holding on from Cardalus. Cardalus won't need to try anything too desperate at this point. It's still 8.5 laps to go, so Cardalus can settle in and just follow. See where Birshikerski's stronger, see where Cardalus himself is a bit stronger. There's no need to make rash passes at this stage of the race.
Yeah, the Moto 2
Selamat datang di live race
the European Talent Cup for the Junior GP.
Sirkuit Estoril 2022 Fanbot Tim Junior GP. Ini 74 ini Pertamina Mandalika. Sebenarnya itu di Mas Eki.
Lap after lap, Tulovic pulls back another quarter second and Senna Aegis, the gap now 1.7 seconds, so he's doing a good job of being nice and consistent right now. For Birshikerski, what does he have to do right now as well, Kiko?
Just got to ride his own race, so there's no point
Semoga karirnya
getting
di Mas
too defensive
Eki
right
naik
now.
ke
Birshikerski's just got to know where he's
MotoGP,
strong.
Moto2, MotoGP.
There isn't too many hard braking areas. There's a couple, turn 6 is one of them, turn 1's another, but apart from that there's no big stops. There are obviously braking areas, but there's no big stops where a pass is very obvious in this class. So turn 6 is one of them. Cardalus got to run through turn 5. Is he looking? He's having a look on the brakes, thinks better of it. So that's one overtaking area. Turn 7's another one. If you can get a run out of this one, but generally
Oke,
most
masih
moves will be
bersama
made
di
down into
channel
turn
Doni
one. Bishkirski
Jonathan.
looking good so far, riding his own race. Oh, turn 7's not
Wah,
past
ini
overtake.
Dimas
What am I on
Eki
about?
Yeah, Carlos able to make that move there. It's downhill, it's narrow through there. It does tend to
masih
open
bersaing
the door for
dengan
an attack
pembalap
down into
nomor
the chicane. See if
18.
Bishkirski's able to get close enough.
Yes.
He is able to attack, and Pete Pole certainly knows that he doesn't have the speed right now to be able to hold off Carlos. So any time that Carlos comes through for Bishkirski, he's going to have to try and make those moves straight away. Both of these riders, Kiko, still using the old Honda engine, so they certainly know the bike that's underneath.
They do indeed, and they know the tyres that are underneath them as well. The Dunlops, of course, right, coming through from the World Championship. Interesting though, they wouldn't have ridden these bikes in these temperatures at this track this weekend. It is the hottest it has been. Carlos alongside Bishkirski.
And Carlos on the 18 trying to get down the inside into turn 1. He's able to take the high line, and he's able to make the move nice and clean. But for Bishkirski now, he needs a good drive on the exit of turn 1, try and set up a move down in towards turn 3. But he's not going to be close enough right now. And for Bishkirski, this is where it gets tricky now, because we've seen Carlos half a second a lap faster than. That's why Bishkirski on the 74 looks like
Perwakilan dari
now. He needs to make the
Pertamina
move soon. So he needs to hold as close as he can through the left-hander now at turn 6 to try and set himself up through the slingshot and down in towards the hairpin at turn 7. So this is a big opportunity for Bishkirski. If he doesn't make the move now, it's going to be very difficult to get through in Carlos at any stage.
Yeah, I think Carlos now has just got that bit of momentum. He's just put in enough distance in between himself and Bishkirski. And Bishkirski's got to look at it as if to say, look, we got another race later. There's no point throwing the bike down the road and destroying a bike, and 13 points are better than none, and that's got to be his mentality. Although he's gobbling up Carlos in some of the braking areas, he's right back with him again. And we saw a move here a lap ago. This is where Bishkirski's strong. He's not close enough this time.
Yeah, and for Bishkirski, if this is the area of the track he's strong, he needs to be as close as possible coming into the chicane, because you can see they're dead stop for these riders all the way back to first gear. It's the slowest corner on the entire calendar of the Moto2 European Championship. And for Bishkirski, he's on course for his career best result. In the past it was 5th position, so 4th spot right now for Bishkirski. Carlos, he's had podiums in the past. His best result though, only 3rd spot as well, so he's trying to hold on for another podium. At the front of the field, Tulovic and Agius still opening up their gap. It's 2.7 seconds now that Tulovic has in hand. Another few tenths of a second last time around for him.
Interestingly, Bishkirski couldn't get a job done on Carlos down the straight, the slipstream not working to the pole's advantage. Back in the background, a little bit wide for Toledo, and a Skrieg will be coming through for him in a moment. Further back, this is the top stock 600 rider, Alex Ruiz on the Yamaha. He's looking good in 9th place overall for the number 12. Good ride, Steve.
Yeah, and for Ruiz, just to give a little bit of an illustration of the challenge that these stock riders have of trying to be able to hold on to these leading positions. Last time around, he was 4 seconds slower than the race winner, the race leader, Lucas Tulovic, and indeed the gap between himself and Sam Wilford, it's stretched out now, because Wilford, he's 2.5 seconds a lap faster. So certainly that stock battle is going to be key. But for Ruiz, he's got a comfortable lead in hand over the next best stock rider. 4 bikes between him and Chris Scheiber.
Yeah, this is Senna just on screen, number 81, the Australian rookie this year. Good front row qualifying from him yesterday, and it looks like, with 5.5 laps to go, a solid 2nd place finish at Estoril to start his season. We didn't expect this, Steve. We didn't think that Senna Aegis would be one of the ones to watch. We always know, and it looks like, with 5.5 laps to go, a solid, that rookies can cause a surprise, but we didn't quite expect a surprise quite this big.
Yeah, looking at the entry lists coming into this weekend, I was a little bit surprised to see Senna on a Moto2 bike, only 16 years of age, but he's really adapted well to it. When we went trackside earlier in the weekend, he looked at ease on the Moto2 bike right from the outset, and for a rider that had a career best result of 13th in the Moto3 class, I think it's a real sign of just the kind of talent he has. That's Peter Bishkirski able to take that 3rd spot. We didn't quite catch where the move happened, but he's been so strong on the run into the chicane that you'd certainly expect this in the second half of the lap. But Carlos now trying to collect his thoughts, try and close back onto the back of the 74 machine and try and attack him. But for Carlos, he's going to see that clock's going to tick down, and it does tick down fast in a sprint race. Only a 12-lap race here, so we're well into the second half of proceedings.
Yeah, and anything can happen. We don't know what Bishkirski was doing earlier. He might have just been sandbagging a little bit tyre life maybe coming into it with this race. Probably not with 11 or 12 lap races, but the temperatures are up, and maybe it was just about discovering what the track's like, and Cardlew's maybe having a bit more confidence in Bishkirski. This is the battle for 5th. This is Eskrig. He has now got ahead of Toledo, so that is up into 5th place for Eskrig on the Yamaha Philippines Styler bike team, ahead of the 55 of the Pertamina Mandalika bike of Toledo.
Yeah, just in front of that, for last time around, teammate to Toledo is, of course, Peter Bishkirski. It was a new personal best last time around, so he is coming into his pace now as well. Last time around, he was a half a second faster than Cardlew's. That's why he was able to make the move. But certainly for Bishkirski, we'll keep an eye on what his times are now, because he's put in another personal best in Sector 3. So as the race has progressed, as the tyres have gone down a little bit, he has come into his own, and he's doing a really good job right now.
Some riders just need that opening few laps, Steve, just to get into their rhythm as well. We don't know if Bishkirski is one of them riders. We normally see him battling around 5th or 6th. This year he's made a step, so that's great to see. And yeah, he's clearly looking comfortable on the bike, so hope I've not just cursed him, but he looks very good, as does Cardalus as well. He's not making too many errors, not running too wide right there in 4th place. I must say, Eskrig has dropped Toledo pretty quickly. The gap between them about 3/4 of a second. So Eskrig versus Toledo, Eskrig's made it look easy, and he's gapped him straight away.
Yeah, and Eskrig into 5th position, and last time around he was on the same sort of pace as the podium guys as well, so he's trying to make sure he's able to close that gap down, and he's got clear track in front of him on that number 11 machine. The gap between himself and Cardalus is 1.6 seconds, but he was only able to pull back a tenth of a second last time around. But now you can see he's starting to push harder. He's really starting to press on with that Honda engine machine.
Just outside the top 6, Steve, Wilford has made a move up into 7th place out of Matteo Ratto. And yeah, very good stuff from Wilf from the back row of the grid for race 1 of the Moto 2 class, up into 7th. Solid start to his season.
Yeah, and for him, of course, it is a case of making that step that he needs to make this year. He's got a lot of experience. He's been racing here for 3 years now, having come across from the British Supersport paddock. But for Wilford, it's critical that he's able to try and make that big step to turn those top 10 finishes into top 5 finishes.
Just at the front, Lukas Tulovic is metronomic. That time's around the 39.4s, 39.5s, just dropped into the 39.6s last time round. Still 3.5 tenths quicker than Senna Aegis, more or less. So very good stuff from your race leader.
Yeah, just getting a notification as well for any of the junior GP fans. It looks like there's going to be a slight delay to the programme, having had that red flag here in the Moto 2 class. Looks like it's about 15 minutes behind schedule now for the junior GP. So you'd imagine it'll be a 1:15 start for the big class here in the junior GP paddock. But look at Cardalus just using all the racetrack on the run down in towards the right-hander, and he is pushing hard now at this stage on that number 18 machine. Last time around he was faster than Bishkirski, so he is trying to reel him in. Alex Eskrig, though, was the fastest of all 3 of these riders. That's why he's just gradually bringing himself closer and closer to Cardalus. This is the race leader, Lukas Tulovic, and pretty much every lap so far he's been the fastest rider on the racetrack, and he just keeps edging himself that little bit further clear. It's 4.3 seconds between himself and Senna Aegis, and Tulovic, this is his chance, this is his day to potentially win his first Moto 2 European Championship race. He's been such a consistent front runner, Kiko, but now he knows he's got the opportunities.
Yeah, and he looks at one with the bike as well. He's riding it like, you know, he's getting on with it. He's not. It doesn't look like hard work for him. He's looking wheels in line. He's making all the apexes, and in a way, he's looking a bit loose in places. But some riders like that, and that shows that you are comfortable. This is into the braking area of turn 1. You can see the bike skipping around into the braking area. Tulovic just tips it in, and he's looking good. He's looking very, very calm, cool and collected on that bike. This is the number 8 on the Senna Aegis. First time we get to look at him in slow-mo in depth on the Moto 2 bike. Again, another one, Steve, we swear we was watching on Saturday. Looking good, looking at one, looking comfortable.
Yeah, Senna Aegis looking nice and comfortable out there. And just the differences between the Triumph engine bikes and the Honda engine bikes. Obviously, there's more electronics on Tulovic's bike. In these conditions, how much of a benefit could that be for him?
Well, electronics on a greasy track will...
Oh, it's Bishkirski! And that looks like it's down in turn 1.
Well, that's what the electronics difference is.
We'll wait and see what happened to Peter Bishkirski, but that's devastating for the Polish rider. He's been so strong all the way through this weekend. He had his first ever career front row start, and he was in a position there to try and hold on to a podium spot. It also looks like Xavi Cardalus is down the order as well. He lost spots. He's down to 8th position, so maybe he's been involved in that as well. We'll wait and see whether Cardeluce has been able to get going as well. He has neither. Both riders are down. And you wouldn't be surprised to see another red flag here. The red flag is out. So Lukas Tulovic is a race winner for the first time in the Moto2 European Championship. But we saw a big crash there, potentially down into turn 1. Javi Cardeluce and Peter Birshikerski were fighting it out for the podium spot in third position. And both of those riders crashing and bringing out the red flag. That's going to mean Alex Skrieg is going to finish up there on the podium. And for Alex, that's his first career podium. Good to see Cardeluce up.
Yeah, that is Cardeluce. Yeah, that is Cardeluce. I just wonder if Cardeluce has outbraked himself. We'll wait for a replay if we get one. But judging where Cardeluce was, he was a long way past the corner. Has he been T-boned? I wonder. Let's hope Birshikerski's moving. But he's down and in pain. Tulovic, well, this is an all-new procedure for him. Which way does he go? He's used to seeing number 3, not just on his bike, but also in Park Ferme. This time, he's going to be on the number 1.
Podium for today for Lukas Tulovic, and all of them in third position. He was so strong and consistent last year, but he just wasn't close enough to be able to fight Alonso and Fermin Aldeguer on a week-in, week-out basis. But finally, Tulovic is a race winner. He's a rider with lots of experience in the Moto2 class. He's at 55 starts in the European Championship. He also raced in the World Championship for a couple of seasons. And finally, he breaks his duck. He claims his first race victory in the European Championship. So he's going to be thrilled with that. His team are going to be thrilled with that. And he's joined on the podium by Senna Agius, such an impressive rider. And also Alex Toledo on the 55. Looks like he's down there in Park Ferme as well. So Toledo able to claim his first podium finish. And we'll wait and see the full shakedown of the results, because right now it does look like Rato is up in 4th position, and then Alex Skrieg is in 5th on our timing screens. But we have to wait for full confirmation of those results, just to see whether there was a bit of a shakeout from any of the riders during the course of that crash incident. But certainly for everyone out there right now, they will be able to know that the one thing to take for sure is Lukas Tulovic is finally a race winner in the Moto2 European Championship. Just seeing a notification out as well on our timing screens that Cardeluce and Peter Birshikerski have been given the rider OK notification. We did see Birshikerski moving down there at turn 1 after that crash for him. And that's good to see. For these Moto2 riders, they're going to be back in action in a few hours' time for the final race of the day here in Estoril. And Tulovic is going to be keen to get himself out there and claim a race victory once again. But he's going to remember today for a long time. Finally, Lukas Tulovic is a race winner in the Moto2 European Championship at the 56th time of asking. The German rider finally gets it done, and great to see for him and for his team down there as well. See Senna Agius, he's down there just giving his feedback to Leon Camier on the right. We said earlier on, Camier of course a mentor to Senna, and Senna doing a